for this one, I just would like to wrap up of what we call here is capturing learning from innovation. Okay, what we have learned about managing innovation. Okay, so far, what you have learned. Okay, if you have learned, Alhamdulillah, you have learned something from this class, Alhamdulillah. From the case study given, you know, from the project given by Dr. Hussein and me, okay. At least if you can learn, Alhamdulillah, very good. These are the expected outcome of this topic, which is number one is learning and adaptation are essential, okay, in an inherently uncertain future, okay. So innovation is very imperative, okay. This is from the lesson learned from the topic or the subject. Next one is innovation. Basically, is about interaction of technology, market, and organization. Okay, this is basically the interaction between those. Okay, the interaction of technology, T, market, and O, organization. Next one, innovation can be linked to generic process, okay, that all enterprises, public and private sectors, okay, have to find their way through, okay. And number four is routines are learned pattern of behavior, okay, which become embodied in structure and procedure over time, okay. As such, they are hard to copy, okay, and highly firm specific. And last but not least is innovation management is a search for effective routines. Okay, so to manage innovation, basically it is we are going continuously to find, to search what will be the effective routines. Okay, in other words, it's about managing the learning process towards more effective routines, okay, to deal with challenges, okay, of the innovation process. So what will be what we call successful innovation? Okay, a successful innovation is a strategy based. Okay, it's about strategy, and it also depend on effective internal linkages and external linkages. It requires effective enabling mechanism for making change to happen. Okay, and successful innovation only happen within a supporting organizational context. Okay, these are the four features or four important aspects of having successful innovation. Next one is the essential ingredient in innovative strategy. Okay, if you look at these three boxes, you can see what you can see there basically is one of it, one ingredient is the position of the firm. Okay, the position of the firm in terms of its product, in terms of its process, in terms of the technologies, okay, and also based upon our national innovation system, okay, which is embedded. That's why you apply grant, for example, in my case, I have to map with the national interest to do innovation, to map with a national interest. Okay, need to look at it to the table what the country need. Okay, what is important right now, and what is important right now, because this strategy will be influenced by national system of innovation. Okay. The second one is technological path. Okay, open to the firm. Okay, given you can see here the accumulated competencies. Okay, and the firm will follow the technology trajectories. Okay, trajectories. Okay, this one will define key tasks for strategy. And last ingredient you can see there is the organizational processes followed by the firm in order to integrate the strategic learning across functional and divisional boundaries. The next one that you have learned also in this class is how to build up. Okay, how to build a dynamic capability. Okay, so to build up dynamic capability, we need to focus on two aspects. Okay, we need to focus on two aspects. Which the first one is the acquisition of new knowledge. So jangan berhenti to learn new knowledge. Okay? Need to read, need to know what's going on. Okay, jangan malu to learn and to unlearn. Okay, that's why all of you taking go to the next level and pursue your study, get contacts, have a good contact among classmates. Okay, learn a new knowledge, new technology. Okay, to add to the stock of knowledge resources that organization possesses. Okay, another one is knowledge about innovation process itself. And that's why we learn in this class tools, tools to assess or to innovate. Okay, belajar. This class I didn't get the chance to expose you to trees. Trees. These are tools. Tools to innovate. Okay, next one. Still remember this funnel? Looks familiar? This funnel? You still remember this? The model of the innovation process? I hope that everybody have, right? So basically, this is this figure remind us of the model that has been using as an explanatory framework, okay, to explain the framework and innovation capability. Okay, so this model refer to our ability to create and to operate, okay, such a framework in our organization. You search, okay, you search, you select, you implement, and capture. You search, how can we find opportunities for innovation? You select, what are we going to do and why? Implement, how are we going to make it happen? And capture, how are we going to get the benefits from it? Okay, so these are the simplified model of the innovation process. Okay, for this one, this is again also under the topic how to manage innovation. We use a COPS cycle of experiential learning. Okay, so based on this figure, you can see the concept, experiment, experience, and reflection. This is one of the way to represent the learning process, okay, that can take place in organization. Okay, so one of the way is to use the simple model of learning based on the work of David Cope, okay, that being shown here. Okay, so can see there the learning, okay, is seen to require the structured and challenging reflection of the process. Okay, so our learning require the structured and challenging reflection of the process. What happened, what worked well, okay, what went wrong, and so on. Reflection. No muhasabah, kan? Muhasabah, buat refleksi. Okay, self introspection untuk diri, untuk organisation. And then conceptualization. Okay, okay. The next one is conceptualization, to capture and then to codify the lesson learned into framework. Tak mahu kita muhasabah saja, buat reflection and then nothing happen. Okay, talk only, talk only, nothing happen. Lesson learned into framework and eventually procedures to build on lesson learned. Okay, so kita capture, we codify the lesson learned into framework, and then eventually we come up with the procedure to build on a lesson learned. And then next one is experimentation. Okay, this one, experimentation. The experimentation basically is the willingness of us to learn, willingness for us to manage things differently next time. Okay, tak boleh lah nak guna same way to manage, right? If you repeat the same process, okay, maka you cannot expect the same result, right? The willingness to manage things differently next time to see if the lesson learned are valid or not. Okay, and last one is our honest capture. Okay, we use here the word honest capture of experience. Kan? Terus terang punya, ikhlas. What are the lessons learned from that experience? Okay, even though it has been a costly failure. Okay, so that we have a raw material on which to reflect. Okay, this is a Cope cycle of experiential learning. Another one, another slide, which is slide number 8. Okay, slide number 8 is the importance of failure. This one very important. Some people, they cannot accept failure. Okay, no organization, no individual start with a fully developed version. Okay, shown in figure 15.1. Where is 15? 15.1 here. This is 15.1. I mentioned here, no organization or individual, they start perfectly a fully developed version as shown here. This is an ideal one. This is an ideal one. This figure 15.1. This model is an ideal one. So what I'm trying to say here is no organization, no individual start with a fully developed version shown in figure 15.1. We learn, we adapt our approach, we build our capability through process of try and error. Gradually, we improve our skill and we are going to find what works for us. That's why we need to learn from 3M. Okay, normally I give the case study of 3M. It's up to you to read this case study on your own, but we are not going to do it today. One of it is the success story of 3M, how they learn from their failure. Okay, 3M. So we need to recognize the importance of failure in this. Okay, and what we call about innovation is basically trying new thing out. Okay, and then they may not always work. Okay, and experimentation, testing, prototyping, and pivoting are all part and parcel of innovation story. Okay, that's why I would like to share my my PhD journey last time. I took 1 year just to validate the model. I said to my supervisor, can I provide the show to the examiner saying that the model is wrong? Okay, it seems very difficult to validate the model. So 1 year just to prepare the model. It's not easy. But after that, Alhamdulillah, I found out how to do that that programming, and then my model come out perfectly, very nice. And same thing here. Some people they say, oh, in order to plot, we want to make the graph very nice, it looks very nice, but we are cheating ourselves. Okay, so throughout this is part and parcel of the innovation story. Okay, small katak, small sweep, everything under the carpet. And it is through through this process, and we are going to gradually build up our capability. Next one is what you have learned also in this class. Okay, just to recap, is these are the tools that you have learned. Okay, or been exposed. Okay, tools to help to capture learning. One of it is PPRS, which is post project review. And then another one is benchmarking. To capture learning, the tool one, and another tool is we need to do benchmarking. Another one is capability mature model. Last one is agile innovation method. Okay, so for post project review, PPRS is basically structured attempts to capture learning at the end of the innovation project. Okay, these are the structured attempt for us to capture learning. Towards the end of the project, you have a structured way to capture the learning. Another one is benchmarking. How do benchmark basically? So basically, what is benchmarking? Benchmarking basically is a generic name, a general name given, okay, to a range of technique that involve comparison. When you say benchmarking, you want to compare. Okay, benchmark also provide a structured way of looking at a new concept and ideas. Okay, so it can take several forms. Okay, between similar activities within the same organization, or in different division of large organization, or in different firm within a sector, or in different firm and sector. Okay, in sectors. Another one is agile method. Okay, anybody knows what agile innovation method is about? Do you know? All right, anybody knows? Abdul Karim, you want to try? Abdul Karim, what is meant by agile innovation method?
I don't have any idea about it.
Oh, Abdul Karim. Okay, I will ask other students. Muhammad Zirwandi, do you have any idea?
Prof, I think it's a strong method using for the innovation, I think.
I see. All right. Okay, good try. Anyhow, yeah, agile innovation method basically is also an extensive method. Okay, used for a formal learning cycle. Okay, we proceed to next one. How to audit our innovation? Okay, audit, to do auditing of our innovation. There are typically two dimensions. Okay, what we call innovation audit. One of it is how well do you perform in terms of innovation results. Kan? Buat banyak lah sekali nak kena audit lah. Audit, tanya balik macam mana. Okay, how well? How's our performance? Okay, the result okay, perform or not? And then how well do we manage in terms of underlying capability to repeat the innovation trick? If you are allowed to do same thing, what how we're going to do it in a smart way, okay, in the shortest period of time with the minimal resources. That's why these are the two innovation audit that need to come up in our mind. Okay. Next one is, this is the outline of innovation measurement. Okay, if you look at this figure 15.3, this is an outline framework to measure innovation. You have the input to the process. Okay, you have the innovation process itself, and you have the output. Okay, so by looking at that, you can see that this figure, it indicates the range of measure that we may put in place. Okay, we cover the input and output of the process together with our core interest. Okay, our core interest, how the process itself is organized and managed. Okay, this is an overview of such approach. All right, next one is to measure innovation performance. Okay, how much we put in and what are the output. To measure performance like this lah, input and output. Okay, two sets of measure to representing. Okay, that we could count and evaluate as the indicator. Ask then these two questions: how much do we put in? How much money? How much time? How much skill, resources, etc. And then what are the outputs from the process? What the output of the process are? Okay, this one you need to always ask to evaluate as the indicator of innovation. The next one is measuring innovation management capability. Okay, there are lists of it, component of it. Okay, how well, these are the measurement, measurement question that we ask. How well do we search for opportunities? How well do we manage the selection process? How well do we manage implementation of innovation project from inception to launch and beyond? Okay. Do you have a supportive innovative organization? Dapat support tak? Okay, daripada organization. Do we have a clear and communicated innovation strategy? Is it clear or not? Okay. And then, do we build and maintain rich and diverse external linkages? And last one, how well do we capture learning from the innovation process? These are the measuring tools of the innovation capability that you need to make it become our checklist. Okay. This figure, this table 15.1, okay, the table 15.1 shows you the audit framework to support capability development. And so on your right hand side, basically shows you the key question and issues in managing innovation. Okay, and the column on your right hand side is the reflection and development aids available, okay, on website. So what we have, I would like to say here is, based on this table, we can also develop audit for particular aspect of innovation process. Okay, we can also develop audit. Okay, for example, if there is a creative climate within which idea can flourish, okay, and be built upon. Okay, or are there structures and process in place to enable high involvement of employees in the innovation process? Are there conditions beyond the steady state where we need to take different approach, okay, to manage innovation? Okay, and to introduce new or at least complementary routine to those helpful in dealing with steady state innovation. So all of it been summarized in the structured framework around these themes. Okay, if you look at this table, okay, the table that mentioned there, that that you can see in the slide, is how well do we manage innovation? How well do we manage service innovation? Start-up phase of new venture. Do we engage our employee in fully innovation? How well do we manage discontinuous innovation? Okay? How wide do we search in open innovation world? Do we have a creative climate for innovation? Can we make the most of external knowledge? How effective our selection process? And do you have a clear innovation strategy? Okay, these are the piece of audit framework to support our capability framework. The next slide shows you also answer the theme of developing innovation capability. Okay, you can see there is a great deal. It is an example of a framework of thinking about developing innovation management capability. Okay, this is an example of the framework. You can see there what mentioned here, a great deal of research effort has been devoted to the question of what and how. What and how to measure. What to measure in innovation and how to measure in innovation. Okay, awareness versus awareness on how to change and awareness on of need to change. Okay, these are the aspect of it that we can take a look. Okay, innovation not even thought about, some awareness but random awareness and formal system in place, and highly developed and effective system. Okay, including provision for improvement and development. Okay, this is the thinking framework for thinking about developing innovation management capability. My second last slide is basically what are the lessons learned about managing innovation. One of it is what do we need to do more of, okay, to strengthen. What do we need to do less of or stop? Tadi to strengthen. Second one is to stop. And what will be the new routines that we need to develop? I think this one also is in line with Blue Ocean strategy. Okay, in line with also with Blue Ocean strategy. Apa benda yang we have to increase, apa benda yang we have to reduce or eliminate, and then what are the new initiatives that you can do, okay, to develop to introduce. These are the three lessons. What can we strengthen? What we have to reduce or stop? And then what will be the new routines that we need to develop? Okay. And this is the final thought. Okay. Final thought to sum up or to wrap up of what we have learned here is the final thought is we have repeatedly said that innovation is complex, so many uncertainty, and almost but not quite impossible to manage. That being so, we can be sure that there is no such thing as the perfect organization of innovative management. There is always be opportunities for experimentation and for us to do continuous improvement. Okay, That is the final thought of our subject that we learn. Okay. So any question before we stop?